Hello, my name is Angom Joychandra Singh, or my channel is Joychandra English Grammar. Today subject is close. Today subject is close, and today I explain in English because some students are requested to explain in English also. That's why I make this video in English. Now, today we discuss about the clause. Clause is very doubtful subject, but if we follow the some concepts and tricks, it is make very easy. It will be very easy. That's why we should follow the some concepts and tricks. Therefore, as now we have to know. We try to know what is the definition of clause. First we try to know the definition of the subject. Today's subject is clause. That's why we try to know the definition of clause. What is clause? Clause is a part of sentence which has a subject and verb. Subject and verb. As an example, clause is a part of sentence. Part of sentence which has a subject and verb, isn't it? Subject and verb. Clause is a part of sentence which has a subject and verb. Now I give example. I know that he is honest. I know that he is honest. Here, I is a subject, isn't it? In this sentence, I is a subject. In this part of sentence, I is a subject, isn't it? I is a subject, and no is verb, no is verb, and it make a clause. Subject and verb make a clause. That's why it is a clause, isn't it? It is a clause. This is clause. That is conjunction. That is also conjunction. Here you should know about the conjunction also. What is conjunctions? Because it is very important. Because in this chapter, clauses we identify the clause. We identify the clause with the help of the conjunction, isn't it? Without knowing the conjunction properly, we cannot understand. We cannot identify the clause. That's why it is very important to know the conjunction. Now you have to know what is the definition of conjunction. Conjunction is a word used to connect words to words, and phrase to phrase, and clause to clause, and sentence to sentence, isn't it? It is used to connect the words and phrase and clause and sentence, isn't it? The conjunction is a word which is used to connect the words and connect the phrase, connect the clause and sentence, isn't it? Because that is a conjunction, and it is connected to clause. It is one clause, and this is a subject and verb. It is also one clause, isn't it? It is also one clause. He is honest. It is also clause, and two clauses connected by the that, isn't it? That's why it is a conjunction. The word used to connect the one clause to another clause is called conjunction. Therefore, you have to know about the conjunction also. Now come to the point. I know. Repeat again. I is a subject, and no is a verb. That's why it make a one clause, and that is a conjunction. It connect the two clauses, isn't it? Because there is a one clause, subject and verb. Subject and verb make a one clause, isn't it? Make a clause. And another thing you have to know, in a sentence there may be one clause or two clause or three clause, isn't it? There may be one clause, there may be two clause in a sentence. It is here. There is a two clause here in a sentence, isn't it? And this is a one sentence, complete sentence, and there is a two clause. You see that there is a two clause, isn't it? Sentence will be two clause, or two clause and three clause, isn't it? Next, now we have to identify the what is clause, isn't it? Subject, I is a subject and no is a verb. It's make a one clause, and that is a conjunction. It's connected two clause. He is a subject and is a verb, isn't it? Is sometimes helping verb. Some students think that this is a helping verb. It is not helping verb. Here is to take the role of main verb, isn't it? And I give you an example. He is going. He is going. Then you can say now is taking the role of helping verb because there is a main verb. If there is a main verb, then it will be considered as a helping verb. And suppose there is he is honest. He is honest. There is no he is honest. There is no main verb. There is no main verb. There is the adjective. Honest is adjective, and therefore is taking the role of main verb. Isn't it? Some student has doubt about this. That's why I explained it. Sometimes helping verb also take the role of main verb, isn't it? And that's why it is verb. No, it is a verb. Then now some student does not. There are some students who does not know about the subject. What is subject? Now it is very important. Subject. I is a subject. How it is a subject? I explain it. Their subject will be noun. Subject will be noun or pronoun. If to become a subject, there will be noun or pronoun. Without noun pronoun, there may not be subject. Isn't it? Subject will be noun or pronoun. Isn't it? And I is a pronoun. And in addition, I will be the pronoun will be subjective pronoun, not objective pronoun. There is a type of pronoun that is subjective case. There is a case also of pronoun. Subjective case, subjective, and objective pronoun. Isn't it? Objective pronoun, subjective pronoun, and objective pronoun. And subjective pronoun is I, he, you, we, she, they, and it, isn't it? And object is object pronoun. Object pronoun is me, him, us, her, them, isn't it? All these are what is the object of I? Object of I is me, isn't it? And object of he is him, and object of she is her, isn't it? And one is her. Object of she is her. They. Object of they is them, isn't it? What is the object of it? Object of it is same, isn't it? That's why you have to know the subjective pronoun will be used as a subject, isn't it? And objective pronoun cannot be used in place of subject. As an example, you can say you cannot say me. You cannot say me go to school, isn't it? Me go to school. You say I go to school, isn't it? I go to school. Because I is a subjective pronoun. Therefore, to become a subject in a sentence, it will be subjective pronoun or subjective noun, isn't it? There are also noun, also subjective noun and objective noun, isn't it? And this is a subjective pronoun, isn't it? Subjective pronoun, only subjective pronoun will take place in the place of subject, isn't it? And therefore, subjective, to become a subject, it will be noun or pronoun. In addition, pronoun will be also again subjective, isn't it? Pronoun again subjective pronoun and not objective pronoun, isn't it? Objective pronoun cannot be cannot subject. It cannot be subject, isn't it? That's why I is a subjective pronoun. I is a personal pronoun and it is a subjective pronoun. That's why we can say I is a subject and this is no is a verb, isn't it? No is a verb and that is a conjunction. Is a subject, is a verb, and then subject and verb make a one clause. Again subject and verb make a one clause. I hope you can understand. Yeah, what is clause? Now we discussed about the clause. What is clause? Definition of the clause with example. Now we try to know how many kinds of clause. Next, we try to know how many kind of tense. We know there are three types of clause. That is principal clause. That is principal clause. Principal clause. Next is principal clause. Principal clause, independent. Another name of principal clause is independent clause, isn't it? And subordinate clause. Next is subordinate clause, isn't it? Subordinate clause. It also called, another name of subordinate clause is dependent clause. Dependent clause, isn't it? Another name is dependent clause. Subordinate clause, another name of subordinate clause we know dependent clause, isn't it? And third is coordinate clause. Third is coordinate clause. Third is coordinate clause. First is the principal clause, and next subordinate clause and dependent. Subordinate clause is known as a dependent clause. And principal clause is known as a independent clause and main clause, isn't it? Main clause is also principal clause. Independent clause also principal clause. And subordinate clause is dependent clause, isn't it? Our coordinate clause is independent. This is also called independent. Another name is independent clause, isn't it? The student has doubt about this. What is the independent? Sometimes say it is principal, it is independent, it is main, but same. All are same, isn't it? Another name of principal clause is independent clause, and subordinate clause also called dependent clause. Coordinate clause also called independent clause, isn't it? Now we try to know. We know about the types, no? Now we discuss about the types. There are three types of clause: principal clause, subordinate clause, coordinate clause. Now we try to know how to identify. Main is identify, isn't it? Main is how to identify this clause is principal clause and this clause is subordinate clause and coordinate clause. Now we should use the some techniques to identify the type of clause, isn't it? To identify whether it is principal clause or subordinate clause. Then we should follow some tricks. No, we should follow some tricks. We should follow tricks. As an example, I say some tricks. No, subordinate clause. Subordinate clause is started with conjunction, isn't it? With conjunction. Started by the subordinate clause is started with conjunction, isn't it? Conjunctions. And principal clause. Next, principal clause. Principal clause it does not does not, but principal clause does not started by conjunction, isn't it? By conjunction. This is the main. This is you should know. You should give attention. Subordinate clause is started with conjunction, but principal clause does not started by conjunction, isn't it? It is not started. Principal clause is not started by conjunction, and subordinate clause is started with conjunction. Except there is one point that subordinate clause is started with conjunction, except those conjunction, for and neither, but, or, yet. So there are 7 conjunctions. There are 7, except the 7 conjunctions. If there is this conjunction, it will be considered as a coordinate clause. Now next time I will. At first, we try to identify the subordinate clause and principal clause. Then next, I discussed about the coordinate clause. Then the subordinate clause is start with the conjunction, except conjunction, that is but, yet, so, neither, or, and, isn't it? I give example here. Suppose suppose if you try hard, you will appear the exam. You see, if this is a subject and this is a verb. This is a subject and this is a verb. It's make a clause. First time we have to find out the clause, isn't it? This is a clause. Subject and verb make a one clause. This is a one clause, and you again started the next clause because it's subject. There is come subject. Again is started the part of sentence. No, you is a subject here, and appear also verb, isn't it? Will appear verb. No. Then subject and verb make a clause. One clause. Now we try to find out this is, it is a clause, but now we try to find out the what type of clause. This clause is first clause is what type of clause? What I say? It is subordinate clause because it is started by conjunction. If is conjunction, if is a conjunction, isn't it? If is a conjunction, and this clause is started. If the clause is started by conjunction, it is called subordinate. It is called subordinate clause. It is called subordinate clause, isn't it? And the clause the principal clause does not started by conjunction. If the clause is not started, this is one clause again. It is not started by conjunction, isn't it? It is direct started by subject. It is not started any conjunction. That's why it is what clause? It is subordinate. It is principal clause. We consider it is a principal. We say it is a principal clause, isn't it? If the clause is started by conjunction, it will be considered as it will be called subordinate clause. And if the clause, this is also one clause, in this sentence there is two clause. First is one clause, isn't it? It is started by if. That's why we consider. That's why we can say this is subordinate clause. and there is no started any conjunction, isn't it? There is not started any conjunction. That's why it is called principal clause, because the clause which and the principal clause is the principal clause does not started by conjunction, isn't it? That's why if the clause is started by conjunction, it will be called, it is considered subordinate clause, and if clause is not started by conjunction, it called principal clause. I hope you understand. I think you understand. I repeat again, the clause not started. The clause does not started by conjunction, it's called subordinate clause. It's called subordinate. I again repeat, it's called subordinate clause, isn't it? If the clause not started by conjunction, it's called subordinate clause. And if the clause is started by conjunction, it's called subordinate clause. And if the clause not started by conjunction, it's called principal clause. It's called principal clause. It's called principal clause. Isn't it? I hope you know very well. I give again example. Sometimes conjunction is come in front of the sentence, isn't it? He know, but I know. I give you example. I know again. I know that he is honest. He is honest, isn't it? I know. Subject and verb. It is I is the subject and there is a verb. No is a verb. It make a one clause, isn't it? One clause, no? It is a clause. It make a clause, and that is a conjunction. And he is the subject and is verb, no? And subject and verb make a one clause. Clause, yeah. Now I know this is a one clause. No, it is not started by conjunction, isn't it? It is started by subject directly, isn't it? It is not. There is no any conjunction. That's why it will be considered as a principal clause, isn't it? Principal clause, and that is conjunction. And he is a subject. There is a clause, and this clause is started by the conjunction that. That's why it is called that his honest is a subordinate. Is a subordinate clause, isn't it? It is a subordinate clause. Clear? It is a subordinate clause. Now we discuss how to identify the subordinate clause and noun clause. Now we discussed how to identify the subordinate clause and principal clause with example. I hope you know very well. Next, third is subordinate clause. Now we discuss about the coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. Now we discuss about the coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. What is coordinate clause? Coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. Coordinate clause. Coordinate clause is introduced by the following conjunction. That is what I say, fanboy. That is conjunction fanboy. Fanboy means for and neither but or yet and so, isn't it? Such type of conjunction it is followed by the conjunction fanboy. Fanboy is a abbreviation, isn't it? It is also abbreviation, and it is one type of abbreviation. And if you find difficult to remember this, you can follow the fanboy. You remember fanboy, isn't it? fanboy. F means for. A means N. N means neither. B means but. O means or. Y means yet. S means so, isn't it? Then what I say, coordinate clause. Coordinate clause is introduced by the following conjunction, that is for and neither, but, or, yet, so. And if there is a followed by the conjunction, such type of conjunction, it is considered as a coordinate clause. Coordinate conjunction, that is also coordinate conjunction, isn't it? If followed by the coordinate, the clause is introduced by followed by the conjunction, coordinate conjunction, that is fanboy, isn't it? If the clause is followed by the following conjunction, it is considered as a coordinate clause. As an example, he is poor, but he is honest. He is honest. Yeah, but its conjunction, there is two clauses. This is a clause, isn't it? Suppose this is a clause, subject, verb, and a clause, isn't it? And he, subject, is verb, and a clause. There are two clauses. And first clause is he is a poor. This also clause. But if there is a followed by the conjunction but, isn't it? That is introduced by the conjunction but, isn't it? But there is a conjunction but, it is not subordinate clause, not it is neither principal clause. It is coordinate clause, isn't it? It is coordinate clause. Isn't it? It is not subordinate because it is independent, no? He is a poor. It is also independent sentence, but he is a honest. It is also independent sentence. That's why it is called independent clause. If joined by the conjunction two independent clause, it is called coordinate clause. In short, if the clause is introduced by the conjunction fanboy, isn't it? By the conjunction fanboy, it will be called by it is considered as a coordinate clause, isn't it? That's why it is a coordinate clause. Now again I give example. He is sick. So he cannot attend the class. Attend the class, isn't it? He is sick, so he cannot attend the class. This is also he is sick. It is independent. Is expressed a full meaning, so he cannot attend the class. This also expressed a full meaning, isn't it? Complete sense. It expressed a complete sense. That's why, and it is conjunction is so, isn't it? So yes, so this is a coordinate clause or coordinate conjunction. If the clause is introduced by the coordinate conjunction, this clause will be coordinate clause, isn't it? Now I think you understand. That's why if the clause is introduced but followed by the conjunction fanboy, it will be considered as a coordinate clause. Now we discussed how to identify the clause, and we identify the subordinate clause, principal clause, and coordinate clause. Then we learn the techniques of identification of clause, isn't it? Identification of type of clause. What type of clause? Isn't it? If not, again say, if the clause is not started by the conjunction, it is principal clause. If the clause is started by the conjunction except fanboy, it is called subordinate clause. Simple. Next. That's why clause is very doubtful subject, but if you follow the tricks, what I said, if you follow the tricks and some concept, it can make easy, isn't it? That's why you should know about the conjunction also. You know, because we identify the whole next subordinate clause. When you go to identify the subordinate clause, you should take help of the conjunction, subordinate conjunction, isn't it? Subordinate time, subordinate conjunction, isn't it? And subordinate clause of time, isn't it? Where suppose there also it is a type of clause. Subordinate, it is a type. We are discuss about the about the type of clause, and there are three type of clause: the principal clause, subordinate clause, coordinate clause. Again, subordinate clause. Again here, subordinate clause also again divided into three parts, no, and three types. It is also three types. Subordinate clause has three kinds, isn't it? Subordinate clause again classified into three types, no. That is noun clause. That is noun clause. That is noun clause, and next is subordinate noun clause, isn't it? Subordinate noun clause and subordinate adjective clause, subordinate adjective clause, and subordinate adverb clause. Okay? Then is subordinate adverb clause. Subordinate clause again divided into three. Then is that's why how many type of subordinate clause? There are three type of subordinate clause: subordinate noun clause, subordinate adjective clause, and subordinate adverb clause. It is now is required to identify which is a noun, subordinate noun clause, which is the adjective clause, which is the adverb clause, isn't it? That's why we should know about conjunction. Conjunction is very important. They take very important role to identify the clause, isn't it? Subordinate clause, adjective clause and noun clause, isn't it? You should know about the noun also. To identify the adjective clause, you should know the noun, because identify the noun, isn't it? That's why we can also identify the clause about noun clause, adjective clause, adverb clause with the help of the conjunction, isn't it? That's why you have to know about the conjunction also. Now let me finish here. Time is short, and please you subscribe to my channel and share, and please share this video. Jai Hind.